Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I've got another feature that we're going to be putting into the workshop, and I'm going to tell you all about your Uniformation GK2 resin printer. Now if you're looking for a large form resin printer, this is the one to go to. And believe me, the reason why I love this one is because once I took it out of the box, put resin in it and put it together, I didn't have to do anything. It did everything for me. None of this having to worry about, is it level? Is it going to print okay? Have I got the right thing in place? None of that. It just actually went together absolutely perfectly. It is a big machine. That's why it's behind me here. It's got front and center stage actually when I'm not here. It's going to be presenting the show for us. But I want to tell you about this machine, why I absolutely love this machine. Now, for clarity, this was sent to me by the folks over at Uniformation, but I'm not paid to do any reviews for this at all. I'm not paid at all, to be honest with you. This is my own personal opinion. You'll see by the smile on my face and what I've actually created today, why I absolutely love this large form printer. So let me tell you all about it. This is the Uniformation GK2 10.3 inch 8K printer. It's a very big machine, coming in at 350 mils times 315 mils times 455 mils in height. For all of my friends over the pond there, that's 13.7 times 12.4 times 18 inches. And it weighs 20 kilograms. It comes with a built-in air filter which can be replaced over time. This actually stops a lot of the fumes that you'd normally get with resin printers. Now this is a standalone machine, so you actually load your projects into the machine through the onboard USB at the front, and there is also a port at the back as well. Now as you can see here, unboxing the machine and setting it up for the first time is dead easy. There's instructions online and there's also instructions in the enclosed packaging. Now this machine will enable you to print objects of 228 times 128 times 245 millimeters. The flip up cover is an excellent design, and it's going to stop those sticky fingers getting on the plastic. Now the excellent design of the vat tray not only means it's quick release, but it also means that because it's got a lip around the outside, if there's any accidental spillages that go over the side, it's never going to be able to hit the screen underneath. Now there's a revolutionary design on the build plate, and I will talk about that afterwards because the engineering is unsurpassed and it's quite a unique system which stops resin getting everywhere. Everything is controlled by a touchscreen. There is a 5-inch touchscreen at the front of this machine, as you can see here. Being a HD resolution screen, the resolution is 7680 times 4320 pixels. Now here I'm demonstrating the leveling process for the printer. Now because of the such revolutionary design of the build plate, you're not going to need to do this. It actually comes pre-leveled from the factory, and if you actually do need to level it, then I'm going to show you afterwards exactly how that's done. I did demonstrate it in the video here, but believe me, nothing needed to be done at all. There's internal springs inside this build plate, and it's actually leveled by using 8 screws, and I'm just demonstrating some of that now. It can perform layer heights of 0.03, 0.05 and 0.1 millimeters, and the resin is capable of holding 0.7 kilograms capacity. Now a lot of printers on the market haven't got some of the features on this one. It has automatic heating, which is a game changer in the resin printing world. You can actually set it to 25, 30 degrees or 35 degrees, and before it starts to print, it will make sure that the inside temperature and resin is up to that temperature. And when you're ready to print, it will display your design on the screen, and you'll have all the information down the right side here saying how much resin it's going to use and how long it's going to take. And more importantly, like I just mentioned about the in-heating, it will tell you the current temperature of the resin over here. So there's the beauty shots of this machine. Let me just break this down into some individual parts, and then we're going to print something on it and show you what it looks like. Now let's start by looking at that build plate, which believe me is something I've never seen before. It's actually enclosed in a case, as you can see here, and it means that the resin is not going to get everywhere, but it is also a brilliant leveling system. Now I didn't need to level this as soon as I got it, because when you get it, it's already pre-leveled for you. So what I've done is I've just spliced to explain exactly how this works should you need to level it. Now this is what the inside of that build plate looks like, and the instructions on the screen here, how you adjust it to actually get it in the position you need. Now all the instructions of this are contained in the documentation, in the box, and also online. But what an ingenious design. And as I mentioned there, with the addition of having that vat tray with the lip over it and the quick release, which just makes everything completely clean, so you're not going to get resin anywhere, and also the internal heating of the resin, I haven't seen that in many machines on the market. It does make a difference when you're printing stuff out, and it's exactly what I'm going to do now. So I've decided for the very first project on this machine, before I use it, I'm going to be printing Talos. Now, I'm a big fan of Jason and the Argonauts. I do have a Talos file with Talos on a plinth. Today, I'm actually going to just do the actual statue of Talos. I'm going to print that out and show you what it looks like. So first off, I'm going to be putting it into GKTW box, which is the splicer I'm using, and I'm going to show you how that looks. So I've already got my GKTW box open here. Now, if I click on settings, you'll already see that I've already got the Uniformation GK2 programmed in with all of the recommended settings for this machine. So I don't have to worry about the machine, but what I'm going to do first is import Talos, which means going to the file, which is here, clicking on Talos, and it's option 3 I want to print the plinth and the actual Talos statue separately. So if we go for the full body, that is what the full body is looking like on the plate there. Now I need to rotate this around, so I want him printing kind of like that, probably a little bit more an angle. So if I was to just go on to rotate here, I'm going to rotate him around sort of that way, give him a little bit of a spin around. Whoops, let's go to this purple one, kind of like that. I can move him around the plate here to about there. I'm looking at the shadow at the bottom, you see, because I do want to have a skirt when I'm printing this. Now, if I was to print this like that, I think that's pretty cool, actually. I like that. It's going to create supports along his whole back section, which I should be able to hide when it comes to actually printing that. I like that. I like the scale of it as well. Now, I'm just going to check what the scale is at the moment so I can do the base. The scale is 100%, so that's perfect. So the only thing I'm going to do now is make sure that this is hollowed out, because I don't want to print a solid block. And to do that, I'm clicking on this button right here, which is hollow, and just click start. And it's going to look at the whole model there, make sure it's not solid. And there is a wall thickness inside of, as you can see, 1.20 millimeters. Let's just wait for that to do that. Now, I don't want this statue to be full of resin. I want to be able to have a route for the resin to come out of. So I'm going to be putting some little drain holes just at the bottom of the feet here. So I'm going to add a hole there. Just trying to see the best place it's going to let me add a hole. There we go. It's managed to let me put one there. I want to put some just in the base behind his skirt here. So one there. And one there. I mean, you could go to town on this, to be honest with you. Let's see if I can get one just here as well. Oh, I did. I managed to get one there. And I'll have... I think that's it, actually. I should be able to maneuver the statue around to do that. I might not put enough in. Who knows? There you go. He's back on the plate, as you can see there. So, I think what we need to do now is create the supports for him. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm wondering, should I put... No, I'm not going to put another drain hole in there. I should be able to get them out, no problems. I'm going to go to supports now. And just for the first print, it's already got a raft on here, which is skate, as you can see down here. I'm going to put all supports in place, which is going to calculate where it's putting those supports. And you'll see that in a second. There you go. And that is pretty much how that's going to look when it's printed. I think we've got enough supports all in place. Sword's not going to need any supports, which is good. I don't want to be breaking off supports from this sword. There may be too many supports here. I may want to make sure that these supports here aren't touching the body, which I don't think they are, because that will cause a mark there. But I think we're good to go. And for a first print, I think I will go with that. So all I'm going to do is click back onto this section here and click slice. And it's going to calculate how long it's going to take to print this model. So as you can see, 93.3 mils of resin it's going to take. It's going to have a weight of 102 grams. It's going to take 16 hours to print. So what I'm going to do is save that. I'm just going to save that in this file, on my downloads file, I think. And I'm just going to call it Talos. And then I'm going to copy this onto a USB flash drive. So after putting the flash drive in and starting everything off, I checked the time. And as you can see here, it said 1% done, 22 hours it's going to... So it's a lot longer than it said it was going to be. But as you can see, during the process, it worked perfectly. First time, it adhered to the build plate, no problems at all. I was captivated watching it, just going in and out of that white resin. The only thing that did concern me was that the clock said a lot longer than the actual splice said it would take. And it came to the fruition that the clock was actually wrong on the printer, because as you can see here, 25 to 8 in the morning, because I had this printing overnight, it's almost finished. We're just doing the top section of the head and the sword. But when I looked down at the screen at 100%, it still said that there was 3 hours 44 minutes left, which I didn't really get. And I'm telling you, the first print, I decided to do something absolutely massive. Perhaps I should have done something smaller, but no, I've got faith in this machine. Check this out. Look at it. It's come out absolutely amazing. So what I'm going to do is get this off the build plate, put the build plate in, and we'll have a look at this closer. Pretty impressive, huh? So it came off the build plate absolutely easy. But look, check that out. That's exactly what I wanted it to look like. It's printed perfectly. And that was a first print. As I said, no leveling needed. I just filled up the vat and then went. But as you can see, it came off beautifully. So let's show you what it looks like, all painted up and finished. Now I still need to weather this, but this is the base coat down in the bronze. But look at the detail in that. This is what an 8K resin printer will get you. This is the detail that you can get on that. But I'm sure you'll agree, it's an amazing statue. Now remember, this is hollow, so it's incredibly light as well. But I am going to make the plinth in the next episode and show you what this looks like finished. And there you go. Talos. If that hasn't whet your appetite, I don't know what will. But if you do want to get yourself one of these machines, you do want a really good 8K large form printer in your workshop, then by all means follow the link in the video description and the QR code, should I say, on the screen, and you can get this for yourself and join me on my resin 3D printing journey. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.